Okay, so welcome everybody. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce the solutions that can be offered by Trinity, solutions for the verification of your mycotoxin testing approaches. My name is Oteman. I'm a product manager at Trinity Europe. And today I want to introduce the company Trinity Europe to you because there's some new features about that. And I will talk about reference material and proficiency tests that we offer. And then I will focus obviously in the field of the mycotoxins. Okay, Trinity Europe is located in the Netherlands, in the eastern part of the Netherlands, and we are a complete daughter of the Trinity Analytical Laboratory in the USA. And from out the Netherlands, we are responsible for the supply of the products for Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. And Trinity offers the reference material for analytical, physical, microbiological, and microscopic quality assurance. Trinity is most known all over the world by its activities for mycotoxins. And the Netherlands are so small that I use an extra marker to show you where we are located. So we started building this company in the Netherlands, and we expect to receive the certifications from the ISO, the 17034, which is specifically for the producer of reference materials, and the 17043, which is for organizing proficiency tests. We have succeeded the audits, so we are now awaiting the paperwork, and this will be finished by the government in December, and then we can also publish it on our website and in our communication. We are an expert center for reference material proficiency tests, and we are also an active member of NEN committees, which are Dutch Europe committees, and in the committee of Eurogem. Now, what do we offer? We offer reference material, and why is reference material important in your laboratory? What we see, why do people use them? Obviously, it's a quality control you can use. You can need it. It can be needed for validation, harmonization of analysis methods. When there is a problem, you want to check your method. Maybe you want to compare different techniques of mycotoxins. So there are coming more and more techniques to measure mycotoxins in food, and maybe you want to compare them to see if you get the same results. It can also be necessary to determine the precision, accuracy of your measuring equipment or your technique that you are using. And what we also see is that for training purposes, people want to use a standard with a known concentration. What is very important is that there are different kinds of reference materials. You have a quality control material, which is made and checked by Trinity, which can be used for your internal use in your laboratory, maybe for your daily, weekly control. Another material is a certified reference material, and that's quite something else. A certified reference material is tested with reference methods. It should be, yes, I wrote reference method, but even more reference method when they are available. And these materials are, we call that meteorological traceable, meaning that it's tested by the reference method that are available with different methods. And so the value of this certified reference material is much higher. So if you want to be sure about your control that you are using, then the certified reference material is your choice, should be your choice. And we'll see that these materials are used for accreditation purposes and for external communication. What is important to mention is that for both controls, for as well the quality control material as the certified reference material, we use naturally contaminated material when this is available. It's always a problem to get these materials, but when it's available, then we use them. And it's always mentioned in our product documents what is used. The certified reference materials, they are very difficult to receive and to produce, but yeah, Trinity has managed to make for the mycotoxins to have a quite good portfolio, and this is an overview of what we offer today. So we have this for the aflatoxins, the DON, and 2 major matrices for the fumonisin, ochratoxin, and zearalenone. These are available. Quality control materials, there's an extensive portfolio, and I would like to invite you to visit the website and to see the whole overview of what we can offer. You will see it's a very, very large portfolio with several different matrices, and it's really, you can choose what is the best option for your assay, and we can also be assistance in that choice. In 2022, we have scheduled some new control material that we bring on the market. And I highlighted the CRM, new CRM for the mycotoxins, which is then a combination of DON and CEA in wheat. There was really a demand for that in the market, and this will be presented. The other controls you see in this list are for different assay areas, so not the mycotoxins. I just show them here as an overview, but I will not go into detail indeed for these controls. And then the proficiency tests, Martin already mentioned it in his presentation about PCR, but proficiency tests are also used in the field of mycotoxins assays. And with the introducing the company Trinity Europe, we also introduced the proficiency test inside the Trinity group. I think you are all known what proficiency tests are, but I just want to go through the steps and the meaning of proficiency test from a supplier point of view for you. So when we organize a proficiency test, we guarantee that you can use this for monitoring, guaranteeing your assay. And therefore, we need to follow very strict rules for producing, for homogeneity, coding, etc. This is all tested, obviously, in your accreditation that you must have as a supplier. And yeah, you can use these samples, obviously, to test them. You test your analyte. You can give the results to Trinity. This will be this is done in a web-based hub, and your participation is anonymous, so you will receive a number, but your laboratory is not known to the other participants. And then you will receive from us a report with the statistics behind it, so you can see how your assay has scored compared to other participants. Here again, this is the whole logistics for such a proficiency test, and yeah, like I said, this is all established now in the Netherlands, and so we have all the facilities to do this. I want to focus on the last step, that's the follow-up, because we are planning some new things in that. We are thinking of not stopping by presenting the report and that's it. We like to go one step further and offer individual guidance. If you have questions about your essay, about the differences you have seen with other participants, then we want to be there for you. Our scientists can see what he can do, and we are also thinking about organizing group meetings. So when there is a group at the PT, let's join together if the people are interested and discuss the problems that may have been occurred. For 2022, the Proficiency Test scheme of Trilogy is already known. We will present it on the website next week. And I also highlighted here the mycotoxins. So you see also in other fields we have this proficiency test. There will be a multi-mycotoxin available next year, and aflatoxin N1 specific for mycotoxins. And you see for the rest we have in other areas. There's also the PT test, and as you can see, there's also now we will introduce a PCR proficiency test for the detection of animal protein, which is done an extra for the microscopic examination, which is done in that area. Going back for the multi-mycotoxin test for the proficiency test, here you see what's inside. We offer corn and peanut meal. It's now planned for week 15, 2022. And these are the mycotoxins that are inside. And we will test it with the LC-MS, HPLC, and ELISA. Then the statistics, I think this is very important. Also, when you compare proficiency tests, how are your results presented? How is the statistic organized behind it? We work with the set score and set as R score when the result is below the lowest standard. But to be very practical, what you get is you see your results compared to an average of the participants, and you get an explanation of the statistics behind. Sometimes we choose about the statistics that we have measured at the Proficiency Lab to take that with the total statistic approach. Sometimes not. This is decided by the scientists. That's my colleague Kees van Putten, who is internationally known as an expert in this area, and he will decide per proficiency test what is the best statistic approach to show you how your essay can be interpreted in relationship to the other participants. And here's then the explanation of the set score. Important is that it has no numeric essay number, but it's depending on your distance from the average value. So the message is about, after the statistics, is that if you want to be precise and accurate about your mycotoxin analysis, Trilogy controls can help you with that, because you use standards with a very known concentration, and you can compare your results to other participants when you participate in a proficiency test. And what is unique for Trilogy, and why is these materials from Trilogy are on the market and quite successful, especially for mycotoxins. Like I said during my presentation, is when it's possible, we use naturally contaminated material, and thanks to our colleagues in the USA, we can do that because they have access to that. We are in the USA for a very known laboratory for testing mycotoxins, so they have a lot of samples, and they can help us with that. But which is also important thing is the personal advice that we can offer you, and communication lines. so you can be in direct contact with us, direct with the scientists when there are questions about results. Like I said, the scientific expertise, especially for setting up the PT, the background of the PT, the background of the statistics behind. And we try to be quite fast in processing your results and reporting, so that you don't have to wait a long time before you get the results, but that you can see them quite quickly, and when necessary, you can take some corrective actions. Per Proficiency Test, we offer you 2 samples, 2 matrices, and what is very important, which we hear a lot as feedback from clients, is that we give you more than sufficient amount of a sample, meaning that you will have some extra of the sample. So you will have participated in your proficiency test, but you have some sample still available in your lab. And this sample is obviously very well to use control material. So that is what we see, that people joining a proficiency test, but use the samples of this proficiency test as a control in the laboratory. So that was my presentation from the Trilogy controls for validation of your mycotoxins assay. My take-home messages for today would be that I've introduced Trinity Europe to you. So the supply lines of Trilogy are now shorter, so not only from USA, but we have now this Europe, which can supply you the quality control materials. The difference between quality control certified reference material, which is very important, I explained to you, and I showed you that for next year we have a very new CRM for mycotoxins with a combined mycotoxin on the market. Proficiency test, I explained to you from a supplier point of view what this means and what we are doing. What we also want to do next year is starting up the production of reference material upon requests. The meaning that if your laboratory has a very specific request for a reference material, that we want to offer you this possibility in our laboratory in the Netherlands, that we will produce this reference material in a certain matrix, which can be very important for your laboratory. So this is an offer what we also got as feedback from the market, that there was a demand for that certain matrix can be very important, and then you, for your laboratory, for your area, and that you are looking for a reference material, you cannot find it, and then we should talk about the possibility to produce that under Trilogy, because under Trilogy always means it's independent, and that we also look at the most common assays on the market, and those assays we will take along with our test before we bring it actually to you. So then the end of my message would be sure about your test results, but also be sure that others can be sure about your test results, and especially for that, I think it's very good to know that the Trilogy control products are available. Then I want to thank you for your attention. I want to wish you a very nice day in Dubai on the Congress, and please let me know if there are questions. Maybe there's some time now for some questions, but others I will be available by email or whatever.